So Neturei Karta, again, just translation, it's Aramaic, guardians of the city meaning the guardians of Jerusalem, even if they live in London or Williamsburg. And Neturei Karta is not a new movement, it's almost 100 years old. And I think you have to sharply differentiate between Neturei Karta philosophy and the particular way that philosophy is being carried out. The Neturei Karta philosophy, and this really deserves a whole share, even if you disagree with it, is a legitimate philosophical approach within Am Yisrael. And that is simply the idea that the Jewish people are not supposed to have a state until the coming of Mashiach. That is a halachic philosophical position that is based on a Gemara in Maseches Kesuvos, Kuf Yud Aleph. Before 1948, there were many Gedolim who were not Neturei Karta Nix, who took that very position. Okay, so that's a philosophical point, and you can debate that. There are people who have written books supporting that position, Satmar Rebbe, and there are people who have written books opposing that position. And Kedarka Shel Torah, there are going to be different views, and this is a subject that one could study and one could learn, and one could try to understand that. Right? So that's the philosophy of Neturei Karta. And the philosophy of Neturei Karta, I don't agree with it. I don't follow it, but it is a philosophy. It is a hashkafa in Klal Yisrael that I'm not going to be mavazeh. Now, you then have, however, a secondary aspect of this, and that is people who are applying that philosophy to stand up in favor of Hamas and basically making statements publicly that Jews deserve to die because of the sins of the Zionists in building a state or whatever, oppressing the Palestinian population. That's a very, very different thing. Because even if I were to believe, which I don't, that we shouldn't have a state of Israel, but when Jews are being murdered, my job is to protect Jews or stand up for Jews, and not to go over and make it sound like these Rishayim are like big tzaddikim. But again, I want to differentiate between Neturei Karta as a philosophy and what you might call a lunatic fringe of Neturei Karta. That is literally supporting people who put Jews in danger, and maybe they're putting Jews in danger by that type of support. Now, most of Neturei Karta, well, I can't say most, but certainly there are many people who are ideologically Neturei Karta who would not do this in a million years. It has sources, it has support, but not when it comes to endangering Jews or validating the murder of Jews.